It is September 27th, 2016, 4:48 p.m. Just kind of got inspired to maybe start a series of vlogs. I don't know how many there will be, because you guys know me, I ramble. But I think it's going to be kind of part of my pre-writing, because I'm trying to get my book started as far as my life in general. But what I wanted to kind of highlight in particular, hope that guy's done mowing soon. Anyway, is what jail is like and what prison is like. Because while I was incarcerated, this book came out called Orange is the New Black, and then Netflix decided they were going to do a series, something where it's only available on Netflix or some shit. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. A lot of new things came out while I was incarcerated. But from what I heard, Netflix decided to pick up the book and turn it into a TV series that's viewable only on Netflix. A little, exclusivism and elitism or whatever, like, oh, the cool kids that have Netflix can only see it, whatever. Anyway, I read the book and I thought the book was total horseshit. It pissed me off on so many levels, because my prison experience was nothing like that woman's. That woman actually got a pretty light sentence, and yeah, her boyfriend stayed by her side. Mine didn't even last the whole time I was in jail awaiting my sentence, so go figure. Now, anyway, I overheard somebody at the place that I'm staying at, a place that shall be nameless, talking in the hallway to somebody saying, oh, jail's so easy, all you got to do is just sit around and play cards and watch TV all day, it's such a great place, for lazy people that they just feel like taking a break from life. They can just commit a crime and go to jail and whatever. I started tuning her out, and because I just was like, what, are you serious, lady? No. Okay, yes, she's partly right, but she's mostly wrong. And here's what it is. Prison, I spent 164 days in the Cuyahoga County Cuyahoga County Jail. And then there was like a 16-day stint where I was supposed to have gone to juvenile court, but the sheriffs dropped me off at the Sallyport, which is, I guess, their nickname for county, I don't know. And I was just like, I'm not supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be in court. And they're like, well, we don't know what to do with you. So yeah, that was fun. But anyway, the 164 days. Okay, let me just start from the very beginning. Okay, when I got off that mega bus, I got off that bus across the street from the Renaissance Hotel in downtown Cleveland. It's somewhere in Public Square. I don't know the address. It's fairly easy to find. You ask somebody where the Renaissance is and they'll tell you. Or they'll just give you a map. I mean, shit, whatever. Okay, I got off the bus and I walked around Public Square about 3 times going, I can't do this, but I gotta do this. I can't do this, but I gotta do this. Oh my God. Freaking out. I stopped at there's this one statue. I can't remember what it looks like right now. I'd recognize it on sight though. But there's these benches that are right in front of it, and I sat down at that bench, and some guy came along and sat down next to me, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. Because it seems like whenever I'm downtown, I get either hit up for money, or little old ladies with clipboards asking me if I want to register or sign this petition or ask my opinion on something, or some random guy trying to hit on me thinking that I've got sucker written on my forehead. And no, I don't. But anyway, so he comes down and sits next to me and he's like, hey girl. I'm like, hello. And he's like, what's the matter? You look down. And I was like, dude, I got a felony warrant and I'm going to the courthouse to turn myself in. And he's like, really? He's like, what happened? I said, dude, I don't really want to talk about it. And he's like, okay, I understand. And he's like, hey, you got a cigarette? And I was like, yeah, because I had a full unopened pack with me and like half of an open pack on me. Because for some reason, I thought that I'd be able to keep that unopened pack, and you'll find out what happened to that pack in a minute. But try to wrap this up so that I could do a part 2 later. But we get to talking, and he's like, hey, he's like, you're turning yourself in? I said, yeah. He's like, he said, that's actually a pretty rare thing. Not many people turn themselves in on warrants. And I said, well, I just want to get this out of the way and get on with my life. And he said, well, that's a good way of looking at it. And we sat there, and I smoked about 2 more cigarettes, because I was like, I really don't want to do this. It's getting close to about 5 or 6 o'clock. I got to go. So I got up and told the guy, hey, have a nice day. He's like, hey, take it easy. Good luck on your warrant. I hope it gets cleared up. And I was like, yeah, me too. So I went my way. He was still sitting there. And I walked around Public Square one last time. Went up to hot dog stand, bought a 7-Up, drank about half of it. I wanted to chug the whole thing because I had a feeling I wasn't going to have a soda again for a very long time. But I was already nervous, so my stomach was a rock in my gut, and I just was like, no, I can't. So I threw the rest away. And I walked up the steps. I walked up to the counter, and I said, excuse me, where's the sheriff's department? And they're like, that table back there. And they motioned like this. They're like, oh, back here. And they said, you have to go through the metal detectors. I'm like, okay, so I set my stuff on the table, go through the metal detectors. It goes in my, the contents of my pockets went in this little basket and went through the little zap machine, whatever, the scanner machine. Of course, I didn't have anything dangerous on me because I don't carry any dangerous stuff on me. It's just not my thing. And then I walked up to this other counter, and this police-looking officer standing there, and he's like, may I help you, ma'am? And I said, yes, sir. I have a warrant for my arrest. I'm here to turn myself in. And as I'm saying these words, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? And he's like, right, what's your name? And I pulled out my ID and I handed it to him, and he looked at it and typed on the computer. And he's like, we don't have anybody by that name, but we do have this name. And I'm not going to say what my real name is and what my alias ended up being, but he said what my alias was going to be, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, yeah, that's probably me. And in my head, I'm like, what? What the fuck, Nettie? You could have just said, oh, well, it must have been a misunderstanding, a mix-up, so I'll go. And I could have just turned around and walked away. I was like, Nettie, you're stupid. But then my heart was saying, no, it's okay. Bite the bullet, face the music, do this shit. And he's like, are you sure? And I said, yes, because that's my husband's last name. And he's like, right. And he was like, well, what's your husband's name? And I told him, and he types it in, and he's like, oh, yeah, he's in here too. I was like, yeah. So he's like, why don't you sit over on those benches over there? And he motions to these benches that are off to the side and a little further behind the desk. So I'm sitting there, and I'm texting my boyfriend going, I'm sitting here, I'm scared. I just turned myself in. They're having me sit on this bench, and I don't know what's going on. No response. I must have sat there for maybe an hour because it felt like forever, right? And I guess they were like calling around going, this person came and said that she's this person, but really this person's on file, and she's saying, well, she could be that person too. What do we do? And they ran what I didn't know at the time was that they were running the Crime Stoppers and finding out what my age, gender, and general physical appearance was. And it's like, okay, a 5'2" Caucasian woman with long brown hair, green eyes, and glasses. Oh, yeah, okay, that's her, because that was pretty much what my APB was. Anyway, and that stands for All Points Bulletin. And I will continue later. So stay tuned for part 2. I have to get some soda because I'm parched from babbling for 10 minutes. So, peace. And duck lips, I can't really do them with my teeth in. I will continue soon.